How you doing, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik. It is my pleasure to get an opportunity to talk to Golden Boy fighter, 154-pound champion and contender, Vergil Ortiz Jr. How you doing today, Virgil?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I am great, man. I know that you're there in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and you're there for Latino Night. You're not actually fighting on that card, but you are playing a role. Can you talk a little bit about that, as well as the atmosphere and kind of what it's like to just be a part of this event?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm here to support my friends, Ramirez and well, actually both Ramirez, right? They're both Ramirez.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them, and I'm here to support them. I'm here to, be just get some support, of course being here in Latino Nights is awesome. We've got a lot of love from the everyone in Saudi, and it's awesome being here.
Yeah, it's something I've never actually heard any fighter yet say that they didn't enjoy themselves while they were
Yeah.
there. Everybody seems to really be enjoying themselves when they're there and just loving the overall experience. Now, about you, like as a fighter, you're fighting obviously at 154 pounds. There's several big names there, within your weight range. There will be potential fights for you. So if I say a few names to you, and what would be like the first thing that comes to your mind as it pertains to like obviously you potentially in the ring with them? So if I say Terrence Crawford, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
He's pound for pound.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's
yeah.
yeah.
Now, Israel Madrimov.
I would say he's crafty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sebastian Fundora.
Tall.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He's huge. It's crazy. I look at him. He and I are the same height, but we are
Really?
not in the same weight class.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
So
Um,
you're 6'7".
no, I thought he was 6'5".
I don't
Is
know. I
yeah,
think he's
I think
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
know.
I thought
He
he's six
might be.
five. Yeah,
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 he might be.
he's a big he's a big guy. He's a big
Oh
guy.
yeah.
I have no idea how he gets to 154. It's going to be really interesting as he gets older to see if he can continue to make 154. Yeah, Jaron Ennis.
He's 154?
Well, if after his last fight against Karen Shakazian, he said that he wanted to potentially move up to 154 for his next fight.
Okay. Well, he's slick.
Yeah.
So he's slick. Yeah.
And this last one, Xander Zayas.
He's young.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one for the WBO right now though for
Oh
154.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. And so the thing about that and the reason why I asked you about him is because I did speak to Oscar uh a couple days ago and I asked him about that fight because Xander's Puerto Rican obviously and you get the Puerto Rican Mexican rivalry and with him being number one you and him fighting would probably take over New York that weekend.
Mhm.
So if I talk to you about that potential matchup, what are your thoughts there?
Um, I mean, I think it's a good fight for sure. I think he's pretty young. I'm not one to say, "Oh, he's too young, he has to wait." If he wants to fight, then we can get it on. I don't care. I'm always down for a good fight.
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be a spectacular fight. If I'm being honest with you, I like all of those other names are fantastic, but that fight, because of everything, and how I think it would take over the city, I think that would be a fantastic fight to see.
Yeah.
Now, when you saw, or I don't know, did you see the Jaron Ennis his last fight?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so when you saw his performance against Shikazian, what was your first thought?
Well, I mean, I think we all think the same thing. I don't think he looked that great. I don't really know if it's the opponent, if I've heard a lot of things that he's unmotivated or whatever, which I think is not really a valid excuse. It's a fight. Like you have to be on your A game at all times. But I mean, just bottom line is he didn't look that great. We can have our off nights. I mean, he's had two against this guy. So I mean, what I'm thinking is maybe the guy's just tough, or maybe he just couldn't figure him out, or what. I mean, honestly, I wasn't in the ring, so I really couldn't tell you. But just as an observation outside, he didn't look that great.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was kind of the consensus across the board that everybody kind of felt like, well, something just is not,
Yeah,
the amount of time he got hit, by a fighter that is seemingly is on a
yeah.
different tier. So it
Mhm.
definitely is something I feel like people took from that. Now, in your last fight against Boychuk, that fight was a banger. Like I'm not sure if it got the right attention for where it would like stack as for one of the fights of the year, just from a pure action standpoint.
Yeah.
So after that fight, how did you feel after that fight?
Man, you know what? I felt great. And I felt great because I sparred this guy before. I know how I knew it was going to be a tough fight. Um, just going to 12 rounds for the first time, especially with against a guy like that. He's just very awkward guy, and this dude. When I tell you this dude doesn't get tired, man. I used to try to beat this guy in our races against like Griffith Park. I got him one time, but man, this dude is just a stamina machine. So I was like, you know what, I gotta be ready for this guy when we fight. And just going to 12 rounds against him, I can go to 12 rounds against anybody. So I mean, I know that I'm more than capable now. Everyone's like, oh, well, he's only been 9 rounds. What is he gonna look like in, the championship rounds? And I mean, I feel like I've proved that. And that fight was a really big confidence booster, in my opinion, for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's only in all his professional career, he's only ever been stopped once. That was like 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah,
and that was like a TKO. So he has definitely proven to be rugged. He took some big time shots there. Uh, I thought you took some good shots as well, which I thought was another thing that we really hadn't seen a lot of. Is you
yeah,
taking like bigger shots. So I thought that was great. One of the things I took from that fight was your will to win later. Like you were pushed, you were challenged, but I felt you stayed in there, and it was a situation where I felt like it was a little bit of a how is the dog gonna come out of me? We're late in this fight. I haven't been this late, like you said, and so I
yeah.
thought that was impressive. And just overall, the action was just an amazing fight.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, so now today, like what's going on this weekend with Latino Night? There's a lot of fights on this card that would potentially have some implications on the Matchroom versus Golden Boy 5v5 thing that Oscar and Eddie have been talking about over the last week. But it sounds like obviously everyone would very much need you to be a part of that. And you more than likely be headlining it is if it ever actually came to fruition. So if it does, who would you want to fight the most and why on that event?
Well, there's really not too many names I can pick out of that. Well, there's three actually, right? There's Ben, there's Boots, and then there's Madrimov. I mean, I would like to fight Boots. Uh, if I had to rank them, it'd be Boots, Madrimov, and Ben. And that's in terms of like how much it excites, how motivation, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's just how I see it. So I think it would have to be in that order. But
yeah,
all
yeah. Yeah, all those are really good fights. All of those I definitely think of fights that definitely will warrant headlining that, which would be already a very good card from Josh top to bottom. Zepeda, Shakur, just some really good fights to be had there. Um, I have a question I've asked pretty much like every fighter that I've spoken to over the past month or so about this. There's a new boxing video game, Undisputed.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
have you had an opportunity to play it?
yeah.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
I suck so bad. Like, bro, I got my ass knocked out twice last night, man. By Devin De La Hoya and Vergil Ortiz Jr. Man, I suck at boxing games. Now they're fun. It's fucking fun. Like the first match started out with I forgot who I was using, man, but straight right, I flash knockdown. Like, he didn't even give him like the hurt. I just boom knocked him down, and we thought it was over. Like, oh fuck, and then I get my ass knocked out. Like, it's crazy. I'm not good at those games, bro. But no, it's fun. It is fun though, especially with friends. It's fun.
Yeah, man. It's the boxing games, combat sports games are fantastic. This is the first one since Fight Night Champion, which is like over 10 or 11 years ago now. Um, from what I understand, you're not a part of the roster yet. Is that something that you would, because they are adding fighters consistently.
Yeah.
Is that, but I think I saw that at some point, I think back when they were Esports Boxing Club, they had said that they had spoken with you about being a part of it. Is that still going to happen?
Oh, I mean, I already did the scanning and everything. It's
Oh,
just
okay, we
their
good.
time.
We good.
Oh
We
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's just whenever they want to release it, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we
I'm not
good.
too sure what the plans are about that. I'm waiting like everyone else. You know, I wanna take a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, do you know? Did they tell you what your OVR, your overall rating would be,
Nah,
or
they haven't told me anything, so yeah.
they tell you? Okay,
I'm hoping
okay.
it's at least 85. I mean,
85.
85, I'm happy, bro.
Yeah, yeah. 85 is decent. 85 gives you an opportunity to compete. And I know in December they have a really huge update coming because right now, like, hooks are overpowered. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you just spam them
Oh,
hooks. You,
like their power hooks, it's gonna take a while, and they were like boom, boom, boom. Like my brother's kicking my ass. I'm like, bro, that's not realistic, man.
You're right. It was like nobody
Yeah,
can throw hooks that fast.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the additions, and obviously, hopefully, you getting added in there sometime shortly. But yeah,
Hey, while
man,
we're on the subject, though, I got a question for you. This is the
yes,
first time I
sir.
ever asked a question in an interview. I seen that you play Mortal Kombat.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Who do you use?
I am a Sub-Zero guy.
Sub-Zero. Nice, nice. I
Yeah,
like Luke.
yeah. You like who?
Liu Kang.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
Liu Kang is actually pretty complicated to master, like all of
Really?
his combos and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I stay away from him because
Okay.
it's hard. Like his stuff is cool, and like if you could master it, it all looks dope and it's fascinating. But
Yeah.
Sub-Zero, I feel like I can just like it's some basic stuff, and I master that. I can be great. I put
Okay.
together a couple combos, bring out my ice hammer, axe. I'm good, So
That's nice. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I play a lot of EA UFC as well. Have you played that?
I haven't played any UFC, man.
Okay, okay,
I haven't.
okay.
I'll be honest. I just haven't.
Is it a thing where like boxers kind of like just don't mess with MMA games?
I mean, it might be, man. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I just don't appreciate the craft. I know
Okay,
it's hard. All
yeah,
sport is hard. There's always
yeah,
that. There's always the people that suck at it, and then there's people that are decent. Then you got good. Then you got really good. Then you got elite. Then you just got the legends. You know what I mean?
right.
There's always gonna be the small uh tweaks that separate the best from the best. But I just can't I can't appreciate it. I just can't.
I hear you. I hear you. I understand, and I really appreciate the honesty. One thing I will say this to you. I think that you utilize your social media platform as well. And I think you represent yourself, your family, everything as well as any boxer currently active.
Thank you.
And so I like the way you carry yourself on social media is in my opinion for a fighter is exemplary.
Thank
So
you.
I wanted to tell you that it's something that I have peeped just as I've watched you. I'm like, this brother never allows himself to be out here playing in the mud. And he don't have to. And I'm glad that as a young man, he knows that. So I said, I don't know, I thought about that before, but I said I'd tell you that today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's all I have for you, Vergil, man. I appreciate your time so much. Nothing but good luck and blessings to you moving forward. And yeah, hopefully get an opportunity to see you out there in the ring again soon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.
You too.